noticed that the second someone starts talking about making money online, the conversation jumps straight to digital products? Create a course, build a membership, launch a template shop, sell an ebook, and suddenly it sounds like everyone you know is making passive income while they sleep. Meanwhile, you're sitting there thinking,
okay, but what would I even sell?
Or maybe you've looked into digital products before and walked away more confused than when you started. Here's what nobody talks about enough. A lot of beginners are trying to build digital products that make sense for established creators, not beginners. And that's exactly why so many women spend months creating something that never gains any traction. In this video, I'm talking about the digital products that make sense when you're just getting started, not 5 years from now, or after you've built a giant audience, or after you've become some internet celebrity. I'm going to be talking about the digital products that make sense for where you are right now with exactly what you already know. And stay with me until the end because I'm going to share the mistake that causes a lot of women to spend months building digital products when they could have been making money a whole lot faster a different way. One of the biggest misconceptions floating around the internet is that digital products are the easiest business model for beginners. They sound easy, don't they? You create something once and sell it over and over again. People buy that thing while you're working, sleeping, traveling, or spending time with your family. That's the dream that constantly gets sold to you. What usually gets left out of that pitch is that digital products still need something pretty important underneath all of that. And that's proof. Because people buy solutions. They buy outcomes. They buy confidence that this specific person can help them. When someone buys a course, a workbook, a guide, a template, or any digital product, they're trusting that what you built can move them somewhere they want to go. That's the part where a lot of beginners get stuck because they start by asking what digital product they should create when the more useful question is what problem are they uniquely equipped to help someone solve? Because one of those questions starts with a product and the other one starts with value, and value has to come first. Here's something I see all the time in this industry, and honestly, I've seen it in my own life too. Women underestimate the value of what they know simply because it feels normal to them. Think about the HR professional who spent years helping people navigate impossible workplace solutions. But she's also somehow the one her whole extended family calls when there's a conflict at a holiday dinner that needs smoothing over. Or what about the project manager who can organize total chaos in her sleep at work, and she's the same person who single-handedly planned her sister's entire wedding from a different time zone without missing a beat? And she's also rebuilt her family's finances from scratch after a divorce and now understands money in a way most people never learn. Or the educator who can break down a complicated concept until everyone gets it. She's also spent years patiently homeschooling her own kids through a learning difference no certification program ever prepared her for. And she came out the other side with a depth of understanding no textbook could teach. Do you see something here? None of what I just said lives on a resume, but all of it is proof. It's real lived proof, and proof is exactly what makes a digital product worth buying. Women often assume they have nothing to sell because their skills feel ordinary to them, but ordinary to you can be completely transformational to someone else. And that's one of the biggest mindset shifts in this business. The thing is, your skills become invisible to you once you've been using them for years. So when women finally see their experience as something other than a job description, when they start seeing it as intellectual property, that shift changes everything because intellectual property can become income. So let's talk about what kinds of digital products make sense when you're first starting out. But one caveat here, before you build any of what I'm about to walk you through, there's a step that comes first, and it's not a product at all, and I'll get into that in a bit. Okay, the first is guides, simple and focused resources that solve one specific problem, not a 100-page ebook, not some sprawling encyclopedia, just a focused solution to one thing someone's dealing with right now. The second is templates, because people love a shortcut. And if you've already built a process that saves time, improves results, or removes confusion, that process probably has value to someone else who's never had to figure it out themselves. The third is frameworks, which help people organize information and make decisions. And they're usually a lot simpler to create than a full course and easier for buyers to use without feeling overwhelmed. The fourth is workbooks, which help people apply what they're learning instead of just consuming it. And that matters because transformation happens through action, not through the reading alone. Now, what's worth noticing about all four of those is that none of them require a massive audience, expensive equipment, or becoming a full-time content creator. They're simply ways of packaging knowledge you already have, and that's exactly where beginners should be focusing first. Not complexity, just clarity. But for a lot of women, the fastest version isn't even a product at first. It's a conversation. I mean, before you ever build a guide or a template, you can test whether your knowledge holds up by coaching one person through their problem, which is honestly one of the reasons I love coaching as an entry point so much, because you find out in real time what questions people are asking, what confuses them in the process, and what language they use to describe what's wrong. And this feedback is all the things you'd otherwise be guessing at while building a product by yourself in your living room. Let me stop right here for a second, because this is usually where women realize they've been looking at this whole thing completely backwards. You don't start by picking a digital product. You start by identifying a problem you've already helped someone solve. Whether that's in a coaching conversation, in a hallway at work, in a phone call with a friend at midnight, identify the problem you've solved first, and your digital product comes later. And this part is very, very, very important. Problem first, product second. If this is making sense for you right now, I have a free skills to income training that goes even deeper into this. In it, I cover what makes coaching a viable stream of income. I deep dive into what most women get wrong when they try to start, and why structure matters so much more than credentials or a big following. Drop the word income in the comments and I'll get you the details. Because once you understand how to spot your monetizable skills inside your own experience, opportunities start showing up everywhere you look. Now, here's the part that tends to surprise people. Creating a digital product and selling a digital product are two completely different skill sets. And a lot of women spend months focused entirely on creation while the market is sitting there handing them information they never even bothered to ask for. The market will tell you whether or not people want the solution you're building. They'll tell you how they describe the problem in their own words. The market will tell you what they're willing to pay for and which outcomes matter most to them. A lot of beginners completely skip that feedback loop. They disappear for 3 months building something in private, launch it, and then feel discouraged when it doesn't perform the way they hope. And here's the thing, it's not because you're incapable, it's because you built before you validated. Validation might be one of the most underrated assets in online business. And coaching even a handful of people before you build your digital product is one of the most efficient ways to validate that product before you try to sell it. A lot of women believe digital products should be their first offer, but in most cases, they work better as a second one. When you help people solve problems first, whether that's through coaching, mentoring, or just consistently being the person someone calls, you learn things you simply cannot learn any other way. You learn what questions to ask, where they get stuck, what they're willing to pay for, and all of that makes whatever digital product you create later so much stronger and so much easier to sell. This is one reason coaching has become such an attractive starting point specifically for women, because coaching lets you immediately monetize your skills while you're gathering the exact insights that eventually make your future digital product sell. So instead of guessing what people want, you're learning it straight from the people you're helping. And that's a much stronger position to build from than starting alone with a blank document and a prayer. Keep watching, because this last thing I'm about to say might completely change how you think about digital products and online income. Okay, one of the biggest myths floating around these internet streets is that more products equals more revenue. But what I'm saying is almost the complete opposite. Women are creating fewer offers, clearer offers, and more focused offers because confusion doesn't convert, clarity does. The goal is never to build some giant catalog. The goal is solving one problem really, really well for one person and in a way they can feel. I remind myself of this all the time. People don't buy information, they buy progress. That's the difference between a course that sits unfinished on someone's hard drive and a simple resource someone finishes and uses the same week they bought it. Some of the simplest resources outperform massive courses because they help someone move forward. And once beginners understand that, they stop trying to create create everything and start focusing on creating one useful thing, which honestly is a much better foundation to build everything else on later. And here's something else I wish women getting into this knew a lot sooner. Before you spend months building digital products, there's a value in learning how to package your skills into one premium offer first. The kind of offer that is built on conversations with people. Because once people are willing to pay you for your skills, everything else gets easier. Your messaging, your positioning, and your confidence all improve. And even your future digital products get better because now you're creating from experience instead of guessing. That's exactly why I built 2K in 2 hours. It's designed to help you package the knowledge, experience, and skills you already have into a coaching offer people are excited to buy. You can learn more about 2K in 2 hours by visiting my website at herincomeedit.com/2K or just click the link down in the description. Listen, the fastest path to income usually isn't creating more things. It's recognizing the value of what you already know and learning how to say it out loud. If you're thinking about building digital products, I want you to remember this. The opportunity in this isn't hidden inside another certification. It's not waiting inside some complicated funnel. And it's definitely not buried behind a giant audience. The opportunity in all this is usually inside the experience you've already earned and the problems you've already solved. This opportunity is in the people you've already helped without ever calling it a business. Those experiences have value, and value can become income because financial flexibility never comes from collecting more ideas. It comes from putting the skills you already have to work, even before it looks like a polished product. The women creating the most momentum right now aren't necessarily creating more. They're packaging what they already know. If you're new here, my name is Nick Scott, and I help women turn their existing skills into coaching income, digital products, and online businesses. If any of this resonated with you, I want you to watch this video next. It'll help you figure out exactly what to monetize first and why one decision can save you an incredible amount of time. Okay? I'll see you in the next video.